Hi, friends. Welcome back to Shut Up, Tell Me More. I have such a fun episode today. I'm joined by Gracie Abercrombie. She's quickly become one of West Palm Beach's most recognizable faces. She's a content creator, all-around it girl. If she's talking about it, it's happening in West Palm. It's so amazing to watch her grow. She has recently left corporate America to pursue this full time. I have so many things to ask her. Gracie, welcome to the podcast.
I am so excited to be here. What a wonderful introduction. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. No, you make it so easy. So first of all, your last name's Abercrombie. For those who are listening, that is what I said. No relation though to the Abercrombie family.
No relation to Abercrombie.
Yeah.
I wish in my wildest dreams. It's just a running joke though. Ever since I was a child, my brother would have jerseys with Abercrombie on the back. I had jerseys, my, basketball, soccer jerseys. People would offer us money to purchase these jerseys with Abercrombie on the back. So it's just always kind of been a running joke, and people never really see the last name Abercrombie. So I guess it's very believable. So sorry guys, but it's a joke.
But it's a good one. And no one will ever forget your name.
Yeah, it's very memorable. I always think one day when I get married, that'll be a tough one to, to walk away from. But
so true. Don't change it. Don't change it.
I could make it the middle name and take out my real name is Sarah Grace, which a lot of people don't know. It's a very Southern thing to have like a double name like that, kind of Sarah Grace Abercrombie. So we'll have to see how that works one day.
I love that name. So you grew up in the South outside Atlanta? I
did.
What was growing up there like?
Oh my gosh, it's like a different world than down here. I mean, it was night and day different. I obviously don't know anything better. I grew up in a small town called Snellville, but we always would joke and say, welcome to Snellville, where everyone's somebody, because it is such a small town, but everyone knows each other. Everyone's in each other's business. I mean, I say it's a small town, but I did graduate with 800 people in my high school class. So small town, but large school. I was very involved in the community. I did a lot of sports growing up. I was a cheerleader and was very involved in just a bunch of different things within my school, like I was class president when I was in 8th grade. So little things like that. I've always been a leader. That's for sure. I think that's pretty obvious. I'm a very bold person. So, growing up there was, again, I don't know anything different, but.
Love it. You're like a Taylor Swift song.
Oh my gosh.
It's so funny. Okay, you also did pageants, which add more to the Americana feel of everything. I'm fascinated by the pageant world. When did you start, like when you were a little girl?
I didn't. So fun fact, my mom is actually Miss North Carolina, and she went to compete in Miss America. This was probably mid-20s, when she was in her mid-20s. And I was always fascinated by that. I loved looking at the photos from when she competed. I loved when she would pull out some of her old gowns and her crown and just show me all of these things from her time as Miss North Carolina. And I always remember thinking like, oh my gosh, Mom, I would love to do this one day. But she never pushed me. She said, when you're ready, when you're older, when you're ready. And then there came a time, I want to say it was my freshman year of high school, when I approached her to do my first Miss Freshman Brookwood High School or something. I think that was the title. It was our high school pageant.
You had a high school pageant?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
So I feel like that's a very Southern thing, though. A lot of high schools will do pageants, and then there will be like little town pageants. But there was Miss Brookwood High School, and it was freshmen, sophomore, junior, and seniors that could compete. So I competed and won, and it was so fun. And from there, it just ignited this like spark for wanting to be on stage more and presenting myself in a more put together way, I guess. But from that day, my life has never been the same, because then I went on to compete in Miss Georgia's Outstanding Teen, which was the teen version of Miss Georgia, which is part of Miss America. So it was just all day long. I was training for pageants, going to the gym twice a day, seeing my pageant coach every day. It was crazy. It was like all consuming. It just became every bit of who I was. But I'm very grateful for that, because it taught me from a very young age to be very, well-rounded, well-spoken, to engage in your community, to be involved in the community, kind of go off on adventures of your own that maybe people your age aren't doing. So it was a lot of fun, although it's very different these days. And it did come with a lot of troubles, I would say that. It just, you're judged on your looks, and that really can affect you at a young age. So I had a lot of problems in my younger, teenage years and early 20s where I struggled a lot with my self-esteem and
I
body
can
image.
only imagine, especially when you're taking it that seriously.
Yeah.
So you spent so much time doing this. Was your classmates like, were they supportive or were they like, what is this girl doing?
I really didn't care,
Ooh,
honestly.
I love that.
I feel like I didn't have time to really care what others thought about it because I was doing school for half the day. I would do something called work study where I would leave at noon every day and then I would go coaching for pageants and do all my pageant work and stuff like that. And then on the weekends, it was full prep mode. And then
Wow.
my senior year, I started to do college courses early. So again, the first half of the day I was in school, and then the second half of the day I would leave and go to our community college to start doing some of my college classes before actually going off to college. But this allowed me more time to work on pageant stuff and my coaching and training and all of that. But I mean, I had really good friends in high school. It was definitely a weird time. I don't miss high school
No,
ever.
no, thank you. Even if it was good experience, it still is like, we're happy to leave that in the past.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't really care. I mean, I'm sure there was always mean girls that didn't support me and probably made fun of me, but whatever. You really, it taught me so much about myself and gave me a sense of self-worth and confidence that I don't think I could have ever found on my own had I not had that push to go out on a stage in front of hundreds of people and speak to a panel of 5 to 8 people that I've never met before about, what's going on in the world and things that you have no idea what they're going to ask, but you have to be ready to answer.
Yeah.
So,
Especially in high school.
yeah,
That's okay. I've always been fascinated though about what goes on behind the scenes at pageants.
a lot.
Okay, tell me, like, what would people be shocked to hear?
I think the cost. I was just having this conversation with my best friend this morning, and people do not realize that it's not just putting on a pretty dress and walking on stage with zero prep. I mean, you're paying a pageant coach to spend hours with you every single week to go over interview questions, to practice your walk. I mean, the dresses, the gowns that you're wearing are in the thousands. They're custom made. They're hand beaded. Like the smallest things are just, I mean, incredibly expensive, but at the end of the day, it was worth it. I mean, it basically was like a sport for me.
Yeah.
So, but the cost is definitely eye-opening to people when they see, oh my gosh, you have to pay that much for a gown and that much for a coach, and how much are those high heels? Like, I
Unbelievable.
don't see red bottoms on those. Why are they so expensive?
Right? So true.
Yeah, it's
So you mentioned before kind of the body image aspect of it. Like, how did your mom prepare you for that at all? Like, did she tell you, like, look, I did this, this can eat you alive?
no, but I do not fault her for that
Mhm.
because I don't think that when I competed in pageants, it was a totally different world than when she competed. So it was highly encouraged to work out 2 times a day. I mean, I had a pageant coach, I remember, tell me, if you're not in the gym twice a day, your competitor is.
Oh.
And, you know, you need to be eating salads without the dressing. Those dressings carry too many calories. And calling us skinny fat girls because although we might look skinny on the outside, did we actually have muscle definition and abs and all of these other things that they would qualify as beauty? But yeah, it really eats you alive because you become obsessed with how many calories am I eating in a day? How much am I working out? Did I sweat enough? Did I get enough calories burned in the gym that day to be able to go to sleep without,
Yeah.
going crazy? So it really can create a very toxic relationship, not only with food and the gym, but just with your mind and this constant battle of, have I done enough? Have I done enough?
Yep. Everything that you're saying resonates with me so much. I feel like growing up, so many young girls, especially in South Florida, went through this. In
Oh, yeah.
Georgia, though, was it like that? Like, was body image and what you ate and exercising such a thing outside of pageants?
Not at all.
That's so nice.
I mean, not at all. I don't think that wasn't something that surrounded me, like in class or in school and cheer practice. That wasn't really something that I ever remember coming up. It was really more so with the pageant world that it was like a topic of conversation in every conversation.
Yeah.
And it has definitely swung a different way, which I'm very grateful for. I believe now Miss America, they don't even judge on swimsuit anymore. I think they do more of like a fitness outfit rather than a swimsuit
Hmm.
competition, which is wonderful to hear because I will always be a firm believer that yes, you can work your butt off in the gym, you can eat right and do all of these things, but at the end of the day, your genes run a little stronger than what you can do in the gym. And some people just aren't built to be this rock hard six pack with super toned arms and
Could never be me. Yes.
literally.
Yes.
And I enjoy food. I enjoy life. I want to live my life. I don't want to be held back just because I'm obsessed with wanting a six pack or
Yes.
toned legs and arms. So
It's so hard. I mean, now that I have children, I'm trying so hard to like not put that on them, but
yeah.
it's a battle that lives with you forever.
Oh, 100%. And that comment is actually so important for me because that's since leaving the pageant world, I have been so committed to regaining like my power back in my body image and with the eating disorder that I struggled with for many years so that I do not pass that along to my children one day. Because I think growing up, like in our world, that was such a thing, being picked on, oh, you got a little
Yes.
little pudge there on your stomach. But I feel like the world is so different nowadays, which leads me to feel hopeful for when I bring children into the world. But it can definitely be scary that, your fear of not wanting to pass that on to people that you obviously love and care so much about.
Yeah, it's terrifying
Yeah.
because it will plague you forever. How did you recover from the eating disorder and when did that actually happen? Are you comfortable getting into that?
Oh my gosh,
or-
absolutely.
Oh,
If anything, that's something that I can't speak about enough because I think eating disorders are all around us. People are struggling silently, which is really scary for me to know that people were dealing with what I dealt with by themselves. And that is such an isolating feeling when you feel like no one around you can understand what you're going through. And it really is a battle of the mind at the end of the day and self-control and discipline, which I still every single day have to fight with. But I think it's a choice that you have to make for yourself.
Mhm.
And pageants definitely brought me into this really sick cycle of bulimia and binge eating at a very young age when I was in college and just this obsession with keeping up with everyone else around me, the eating whatever they wanted and not gaining a pound. I swear I could look at a piece of cake and I'm 5 pounds heavier. So
Daisies, yeah.
it just started this really bad cycle of something that I dealt with for almost a decade. And it wasn't until I started on a GLP-1 actually almost 3 years ago that all of that stopped. Because, and I know GLP-1s are such a hot
No,
topic.
trust me, you're talking to a fellow GLP-1 girlie.
And there's
I
so
get it.
there's so much negativity around it, but I don't think the positive effects are talked about enough. That food noise that so many people struggle with in their head, that some people can really just like not bother with. It's easy for them to not eat the cake that's sitting in front of them and finish the plate clean.
Yeah.
But for others, it's not as easy.
Yeah.
So that helped me so much. And I have not struggled with my bulimia or binge eating since. And I will always be a fan of GLP-1s.
I think you are totally right about that. I think when they're used properly, it's a huge tool. I mean, the food noise goes away, but more the constant obsession about how do I look?
Right.
Like if I had an event coming up, I'd be like, okay, we're not going to eat for 2 weeks before that. And that's
it's
all gone.
insane.
Yes, I'm like nourishing my body, but you have to be careful to do that.
Absolutely.
So how do you manage that in your day-to-day life, making sure you do it in a healthy way?
Whenever I hear of someone going on GLP-1s for the first time, I always emphasize the importance of still giving your body the nutrients that it needs. Because when I first got on it, it was this food silence. So you're thinking, oh, I'm so skinny, I'm losing weight so quickly, I can eat whatever I want when when I am eating. But it was not the right way to do it. But this was also right when it came out. So I didn't know what I know now. But nourishing your body, putting the proper protein in your body that you need and having full meals that are nutrient dense rather than eating one meal like Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is a slippery slope
I
you can
know.
get on. You're like, oh, I have this superpower. I can eat whatever, but you can't.
And
Like,
you
you're
can
gonna
lose
hurt
muscle
yourself.
really quickly.
Oh, yes.
So that's something I also wasn't aware of. So I've been working really hard over the last year and a half to regain that muscle. But if anything, it's made me feel so much better. It really helps with inflammation and I sleep so much better. There's not a negative thing that I could say about it in my life.
Yes.
That's my personal opinion and my
Yes.
experience
Everyone's
with
body's
it.
different, and that's so important to mention.
Right.
So being that you do content creation, though, which is so much about image and that
Yeah.
type of thing, how does that affect you with your past of having an eating disorder and body image issues?
I just laugh. I get comments all the time that are so, I'm just like, do you have nothing better to do with your life? This is what you wanted to come on the internet and say today to a random person that you don't know. You just have to shake it off. And I feel that is such a hard thing for so many people coming on the internet and sharing their life and putting themselves out there. They're always so terrified of what people are going to say. And you are going to be talked about. And if you're not talked about, honestly, you're probably not doing it right.
Yes.
So I always tell myself, if you get a hate comment, you're doing it right. But
Yes.
I don't care. It's funny. I grew up with 4 older brothers, so I feel like I can take a lot of heat and just laugh it off because it really, I just think of this random person sitting behind a phone, typing, the fact that they took out the time
Yes.
to message this to me or
Yes.
post a comment on a video.
Well, the best is, have you ever clicked on them and like seen their profile? And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, either you're a bot because like I
Right?
don't understand how you've like no photos.
Exactly.
And your image is not even it's a cartoon of something.
Yeah.
And or B, like you are like so and so from the middle of America that like has no relevance in my existence and is just here to troll people on the internet. Like it's a hobby for
Nothing
people. It really
better
is.
to do.
Yes, I agree. How did content creation start for you?
It was very random, honestly. I did a lot of Instagram and Facebook back when, those 2 apps started. In college, I really started to do a lot of the Instagram posting, which
Okay.
then led to me getting some, I wouldn't even call them brand deals, more like gifting from Victoria's Secret Pink and IGK Hair Care. But back in the day, we didn't know that this was going to become what it is now. I didn't know that people could make money with this. Nobody was talking about it. Blogging and YouTube had really just become a thing. And when I graduated college, it was like, you could never spend your life becoming a content creator. What do you mean? Like, you have to go into corporate America. That's the only way. So I went into corporate America, hated my life
Yes,
for
had
the
your
6 years.
soul ripped out of your
Oh my
body. Yes.
Hated every single bit of my corporate America journey. I mean, I met wonderful people and I learned a lot,
Yeah.
but my Lord, I pray that I never have to go back into corporate America. That's just not for me.
Yeah.
And last year, it was actually almost a year ago today, I started posting on TikTok, just dabbling in content with travel. And I did a lot of fun trips last year. So I was posting a lot of those travel videos, but nothing that gained a ton of traction. And then this time last year, almost exactly a year ago, I posted my first Palm Beach video because my best friend was coming to visit. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to post this itinerary that I have made for us. Because every single time I would have someone come and visit me, I would sit down at my kitchen table and I would write out, okay, Friday, this is what we're doing. Saturday, this is what we're doing. And so I shared it on TikTok. It went viral. And that's where it all really started. And I'll never forget my first influencer lunch that I was invited to. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing here?
How were the girls at the lunch?
They
then?
were wonderful. And some of them
Authentically
have
wonderful or
become
pageant wonderful?
amazing people that have become friends of mine and
Happy to
we
hear that.
support each other. I think that's what I love about the Palm Beach community is that the girls there are very genuine. Like what you see on camera, I would argue that they're better in person. Like they're just the kindest people that support you in every way. Nobody's competing. It's like if anything you're inspiring one another. It's a very civil environment when it comes to the influencing world. Now, in other parts of South Florida, I don't know that it would always be that way. But these
Wait,
girls
so
are
this
wonderful.
post that you did was only a year ago?
Yes.
And you have become like kind of the queen of
Oh.
Palm Beach since then. That's amazing. The
It's
growth.
fun. It's wild. Like I don't say this to toot my own horn. I say it because I love it and I want more people to come up to me. But when I go out in public, every single time I meet someone that sees my videos and tells me that they love, this video that I posted and they went to this new restaurant. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. Thank you for sharing. But
I love
yeah,
that.
it's fun.
Like, it really seems like it's like instant fame almost. It's like
I
incredible.
wouldn't go that far.
I mean, famous. Literally, though, I see you and I feel like I know you. Like when I met you today, I'm like, oh no, I know her. I know all about her. Like, is that weird for you when you meet people and they know so much about your life?
It's not weird, but I will say I've learned that I need to kind of take a step back with how much I share on like a very personal level or more of my surroundings and posting not in real time because I've had some creepy things happen. So
What's happened?
I had a few men on the internet that were following me become obsessed with like finding me out and about. So I realized that I had to stop posting in real time. Like I would promote events that I was going to or, you know, things that were coming up and they would say, "Oh, I just bought a ticket. I can't wait to meet you or I can't wait to see you." And then I was like, "Okay, can't go to that event anymore," which that's no fun. I want to be able to go, but no, I think I just have learned that there are some things that I don't have to share on the internet and others that I can.
It's hard when you're such an open person. You have such an open heart, but
Exactly.
you're right. When you're at your level, you really have to be
I'm
careful.
I'm an open book, and that's the thing. I like want people to feel that what they see on screen is what they get in real life, and I think they do absolutely get that. But sometimes it's like you can't give so much to people that don't know you,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So
Well, I want to back up a bit. When you moved to Florida, what initiated that move and what was it like?
I moved to West Palm 4 years ago for a job. I had never heard of West Palm Beach, and some people might be like, "You're lying." No, I literally never even knew where West Palm Beach was. I had never heard of Palm Beach. I thought I there was Palm Springs that was nearby, and
Yeah.
my mom and I were like, "Oh, like California? They want you to move to California?" I was like, "I don't think so. They said
Yeah.
Florida." Anyway, I moved for a medical sales role that brought me down here to cover all of South Florida, all the way up to Vero, down to the Keys. So I got to see a lot of South Florida very quickly and in a very fun way. So yeah, my life has never been the same. I would say, back to your question about how it was growing up outside of Atlanta, if I had stayed where I grew up, my life would be drastically different.
What would you be doing?
I'd probably be married with 4 children, which is nothing awful,
No, no. Everyone
but
has their own journeys, but probably not as fun, to
but
be honest. Coming
which
from
is
a mom.
totally fine. I a lot of that's wonderful, and I can't wait to have that. But I wouldn't have experienced the things that I've experienced now.
Yeah. Good
That
for
is for dang
you.
sure. And I would not be the person that I am, like with the strength and the confidence that I have. There's no way that I would have had that had I stayed where I was living.
That's so nice. So when you moved down here, did you know anyone?
Not a soul.
What?
I moved down here with my golden retriever,
Oh,
and
who is featured a lot in your account.
he is my king.
Adorable.
I swear he's getting more brand recognition
Yes.
than I am these days. I'm like, hello,
Yes.
I'm chopped liver
You're like-
now.
yes. You're just his,
Oh my
his
gosh, I'm his
Ruby.
momager.
Yes, yes.
And so I'll never forget. I had to live in a hotel the first week because my apartment wasn't ready yet. So I had to live in a hotel with Boomer for the first week that we moved to West Palm Beach, and I spent my 25th birthday at a restaurant on this street called Clematis Street in West Palm at Rocco's Tacos by myself with Boomer sitting right next to me. And people are like, "Oh my God, that's so sad." I'm like, not at all. That was such a life-changing decision that I was so excited for. And I think if I could give anyone a piece of advice, it would be to leave what you're comfortable with and experience something that you are very unfamiliar with that will get you so far out of your comfort zone you have no choice but to see the world in a different light, because that's what moving down here has shown me. I mean, the wealth and the different amount, it's a different world that
It is a
has
bubble.
inspired me more than I could have ever been inspired had I stayed in Atlanta.
Yes, that's amazing to hear. Like when you were saying that, I'm just like, period. Like that's incredible. I think that is so inspiring
that
because,
period.
yeah, it's like I think some people have a hard time eating at a coffee shop by themselves,
Yeah.
let alone moving down here and on your birthday, nonetheless. So making adult friends is hard.
It is.
How did you do it?
I get asked this question so often
Because it's
I
literally a challenge that people don't talk about.
know, and I'm so blessed and so lucky to have such a great friend group down here, but it did not come easy. There were a lot of moments in the beginning where I felt very isolated and lonely, and my best friends back home were, getting married and pregnant, and I felt like I was missing out on so much. I will say having a dog helps tremendously.
Well,
Or some
especially when
sort
that dog's Boomer.
some sort of
Yeah.
animal. But I actually met a lot of my really good friends in my first apartment complex. I went down to the pool every weekend and wasn't afraid to meet people by the pool and go up and say hello and, engage with people that I didn't know whether they'd become friends or not, but thank God they did. And yeah, it's just kind of snowballed ever since then, because we all moved. We're all transplants, which a lot of people are in West Palm.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would all meet different friends in different scenarios, and then we'd all bring those friends together. And it just kind of, again, it was like a snowball effect. You just kind of started meeting people. And I would say my biggest gift, again, not to toot my own horn, is that I can read people very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell very, very quickly what your intentions are, your energy. You know, if you're someone that I really want to put my energy and time into, and I can tell if I don't want to very quickly. So I kind of met people and moved on rather quickly, or met people and really wanted to be friends with them. And it just kind of morphed into really great friendships that I can't imagine them not being my life.
That's so nice. And like now this is your life for the past 4 years. But I know that you recently left corporate America
Did.
to pursue content creation and other things,
Yes.
which we're going to talk about as well. Full time. That's amazing. What gave you the push to be like, I could actually do this and pursue my dream?
Honestly, it was a very long time coming. I had been thinking about this for months, but it's something that my mom has always told me, and I appreciate this because she is a boomer. So she is very, strong in her ways. She is very strict, and I'm very grateful for that because she raised me to be a very
Disciplined. Yes.
and not just like go with the flow and things will work out, because you need to have a legitimate
You have to
plan,
eat
right?
and like have a place to live and all the other
Exactly.
things. Yeah. Little
So
details.
she's always told me never leave a job without having another lined up. And I guess some would say that I technically don't have another lined up, but I do think that at this point in our world, if you don't take risks on not only yourself, but business endeavors and opportunities, you'll never know if they could have become something. And I prayed about this so much, and it got to a point where I had a really great year in my sales job. I set myself up for success moving forward financially to where I can walk away from something that was no longer serving me and causing me an immense amount of anxiety. And just I struggled a lot with like this constant mental battle of being so down, depressed, and confused, but then this super big high of like going to my influencer events and meeting new people in the influencing world and networking with local businesses. And I had such a hard time kind of meshing the two, and it just wasn't working anymore. I was like, I have to let this thing go. This corporate job that's bringing me down so much because it's not allowing me to really be
Live.
who I want
Yeah.
in my fullest form, I guess. So it just prayed about it again. So many signs and things aligned, and I left that job in a very great way. And I still have clients that I will always be friends with, but it's hard. And I think people oftentimes see the influencers on the internet that they get this quick following, and all of a sudden they've pieced out on corporate America and really have no plan. They're just praying that influencing works out. For me, it was like, okay, I'm almost 30 years old. This job is, again, bringing me so much stress. I don't have a desire to be this boss babe.
Yes.
All right. But in sales, you are often pushed to be this boss babe because you have quotas to hit. You have goals that you literally have no choice but to hit, or you're fired. And it causes this constant state of fight or flight where you're like, oh my gosh, I have to work. I have to be such a boss babe. I don't desire that at all. So I think a lot of that was hindering me from really experiencing and living life to its fullest, but also in my romantic life, no man wants a woman that's super uptight and anxious and stressed about a job. And again, almost being 30, I would love to meet someone, but I knew that I wasn't going to meet someone with this baggage essentially that I was carrying. So
Well, and you are also unhappy and you're
Very.
not your best self, and you want to go out there and like meet your person and
Exactly.
and we're going to get into dating.
which
I
was
have
that
a
was
lot
very
of questions
long-winded,
about
but there
that.
was so much that
No,
came with
but
the decision.
It makes so much sense to me. You basically were unhappy and you're like, I need to find my happy.
Exactly.
And you chose you over this job that was going to stress you out and make you miserable every
But
day.
for me, my happy doesn't lie in a monetary gain from a job. What I have noticed brings me the most happiness is being involved in my community, giving back to my community, giving back to others, and being someone that I can be out, like being my full self and not wearing this title of like a sales rep, being Gracie Abercrombie and showing up to events where I can be who I am to give everything that I can rather than having to wear this title of a job that if I died tomorrow, they would literally put my job on LinkedIn the next
Yes,
day.
yes,
So,
yes. It's so true. Like work always wins at
yeah.
the end of the day.
Yeah.
So do you think content creation is becoming an actual bona fide career? Like when will it get the respect it deserves?
I think it'll always have a little bit of some sort of, controversy with it. And I think that's honestly because we have never seen a job like this
Hmm.
and people just can't wrap their head around it. I think a lot of it stems from people having so much jealousy that they never took the chance to do it, and also that it just might not be their calling. Not everyone is meant to be a content creator, and I think that's something that people might find controversial. People say, "Oh, anyone can do it." I don't think that's the case at all. I think people have it and they don't. And you have to have it in order to become successful. And it's hard. Your paychecks are not consistent. You know, you're not always paid on time, but that can be with any job.
Yeah.
It's just kind of the nature of the beast. But I do think as the years go by, it will become hopefully a much more respected career.
Yeah, I feel like it should be a major at colleges. It makes so much more sense that way.
I wish it was.
Right? I would love to learn about
Yeah.
it and just be like, teach me the ways.
Right?
Like it makes so much sense. So being a content creator, how much money can one really make? Like, can this be something that will sustain life forever?
Absolutely. I mean, just to put it in perspective, one deal can pay your rent for the month or for 6 months. It all depends. And it does not always depend on the amount of followers that you have, which I think a lot of people always just put a follower count with, oh, she's making a lot of money. Your engagement is everything. So you could have 100 followers and have less engagement than someone with 50,000 followers. Did I say 100? I meant 100,000 followers.
Yeah, we know. We know.
But yeah, the engagement is everything. But you can make anywhere from $2,000 for 3 stories on your Instagram to I've heard of influencers making $80,000 for one Instagram video. So it's like unfathomable amounts of money that people need to talk about it more, honestly.
Yeah.
I think if people talk about it more, it'll gain more respect, but also it'll educate people more on if they really want to go after something like this.
Yes. This is also the way of the future of marketing. Like this is how companies market now. There's no more, you're not putting your name on a billboard.
Right.
You're not taking out ads. Like you are hiring the best influencers.
Absolutely.
And it's also such hard work. So we see your videos, you're like, adorable, pretty, you make it look so easy. It is not easy at all. Can you talk about the grind and the struggle of what it really takes to put your videos out there and come up with content and concepts?
It takes so much time. And I think that's something that it grinds my gears so much when I'll work with someone local that, they might be a little older and maybe just not so, they don't really know much about the influencing world. So they'll make a little comment about, oh, can you make one of those little videos and put it up like within a day? I'm like,
I love when people put little in front of everything, by the way. Someone's like, oh, I know you've got little pockets. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. You mean the thing I'm like pouring my heart into?
Right.
Like, oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so
a tough word.
But they don't know. They don't know better. But it takes, for instance, I just did a partnership with a local hotel and Boomer, and they are wonderful on timing, but that video took me a day and a half just to compile all of the clips together and then make sure that my voiceover was matching all the different clips, because you never want the video to look, you want it to look cohesive. You don't want to have a video of the ocean talking about the coffee shop that you went to. It needs to all be like a very seamless story. And the influencers, in my opinion, that do the best are the ones that don't have that super like prompted voice where the inflections are always the same. Do you know what I mean? Like so it takes a lot of different tries to make sure that my voice still sounds like me and it doesn't come off as me trying to sell something. Like it's my honest opinion, you guys, and although I might be getting paid on it, I would never take something that I didn't align with. So yes, it might be a partnership, but trust me when I say most influencers are not going to take a deal that they don't align with. So, but the timing, it takes a lot of work. Yesterday, I did not stop. I got home at 9 a.m., worked on filming from 9:30 to 11:30, left for another gig that I had to film and create a video for. Got home, had 30 minutes to spare, went to another place to film a video, then straight to another place to film a video. And I still have 2 more videos to make from that, because it's just like you have to be in the moment when you're at these places filming and getting the content. But then it takes like a whole other set of hours to actually compile all that content into a beautifully told story, in my opinion.
And social media doesn't sleep. Do you feel like it's constantly like knocking at your door? Like, you got to post, you got to post, you got to
Yes.
show up, you got to show up on camera. Like, there's no vacation. You
Yeah.
can't just disappear for 2 weeks.
But it's fun. And I think that's when you know that it's something that you genuinely have a passion for, it's when you don't feel like you're working.
Yep.
And sometimes it can get stressful. And then I'm like, okay, Gracie, remind yourself of why you're doing this. Like, you actually enjoy this. And I think that's something too that I struggle with, is I'm not motivated by money. I never have. And that's why I also think I was like that sales rep that all of my clients loved, because I was never pushing them to put these big orders in. I was like, oh, you don't want to do that? That's fine. Okay. Because I'm not really motivated by the dollar sign, although I might be now that I have to pay my bills. But yeah.
Unfortunately, the electric company
Right?
is motivated by dollar sign, but we shall ignore that. Yes. Yeah.
So it's something that, yeah, it never sleeps. But if it is something that you're truly passionate about, you enjoy that.
That's amazing. And you're doing it on your own.
You
which
want
is
to share
incredible.
with people.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. And do you feel like once you get good at it, you're like, okay, I could just turn on the camera and go. Like,
Yes.
it's not like, I'm sure in the beginning you must have been like recording, stop. And now you're just
Yeah.
like, I'm here. Like,
Oh my gosh, my old videos. I'm like, can we delete those? They're so
it's
cringy.
amazing. And honestly, you have done this rather fast. It's
Thank you.
incredible.
Thank you.
West Palm Beach. Can we please explain what this place is that we live? Because people don't understand. I don't even think people like in Broward County understand how amazing West Palm is, let alone the rest of the country. So describe it.
People hate when influencers use this term, but I think it's a hidden gem.
Yeah.
Because it really is.
Yes.
It's growing so fast.
Yes, it
I mean,
is.
to see all of the businesses that have popped up in a span of 4 years it's mind-boggling. I'm like, I miss the movie theater that used to be there, but then I'm like, okay, well, it's being replaced by amazing things, so I can't be too sad. But it's just, I would tell you, if I moved away, I would be heartbroken. Like, I would miss it and want to go back to it so much. There are days where I'm like, get me out of here because it's so hot. But
It's so freaking
it's a
hot.
small city where you see the same people often in the same places, but that makes it fun. But it is, again, it's growing so fast. There are so many people coming from all over the country, not just New York. They're coming from LA. They're coming from, a lot of people are actually coming from Georgia. I keep meeting people from Atlanta, and it's not all old people, which everyone always thinks.
It is not your grandma's retirement home anymore.
Heaven's waiting room, as my mom or my dad used to call it when I was first moving down here. And there's a lot of young professionals, and it's so fun. I mean, there are events all the time. I have 3 events tomorrow. I had 2 today. Plus, I'm seeing you. Like, it is a busy place to live.
Yes.
And it's so much fun. The summers, I need to figure this out.
I
'cause
know.
I got to get out of here.
Was
during
it
the
not
summer.
like that in Georgia?
No.
Okay, I also have to tell you, it's gotten so much worse. Like, born and raised in Florida, these summers are like nothing I've ever seen. Like, I'm like, yeah, we all have to be snowbirds. So this is.
I like to be busy. Like,
Yes.
I love bouncing from event to, commitment to whatever. Summer is so slow here. I'm like, come on, I need the fast-paced life back.
It is very seasonal, which is a weird concept that I don't think a lot of people understand. Can we talk about Palm Beach, like the island itself?
Let's talk about it, because people don't understand the difference sometimes.
Correct.
West Palm Beach and Palm Beach, they are very different.
Yes.
Very different tax brackets.
Yes.
to put it
Separated by
politely.
a bridge, worlds apart.
1 bridge, well, 3 bridges.
Yeah.
Bridges.
Depending on which is
technically.
broken, but yes.
And Palm Beach is almost like you're taking a step back in time. When you step onto Palm Beach, it is very well maintained. All of the homes give that like old European vibe. People dress to the nines, which I love that.
Yeah.
I'm 0 or 100. I'm in my sweats, or I am like
Yes.
full glam, ready to go. There's really no in between. And I would say that a lot of people on Palm Beach, they're very, the best way for me to describe it is wealth whispers. And you definitely see that on Palm Beach.
Yes.
People look very classy. They look very well maintained. They're put together beautifully. And this isn't everyone, of course, but from the majority of what I've seen, it's a lot of just people who have lived incredible lives and
Yes.
they're coming there to chill, take a step out of all the hustle and bustle, but still enjoy a beautiful, beautiful scene. Now, go over the bridge to West Palm Beach, very different.
Yeah.
Very different tax bracket, although there are pockets of West Palm Beach that are becoming very
Expensive
Yes.
and yes, up there. Palm Beach is its own animal. There's also a ton of weirdos over there.
Oh.
Like, let's not. I mean, some of the things that you see driving
sugar
by.
babies.
Yes,
No.
yes.
You see a lot of crazy
It's a thing. Oh gosh, that's definitely a thing. There are certain bars where
Yeah.
it's like Sugar Baby Central, and if you're going there, like it's for a reason.
and it's very obvious.
Yes. Yes, because you see a gentleman that is actually.
You know what?
not
To
that
each their own.
desperate.
Live your life, girl.
Oh,
but
please,
it's
no
just
judgment.
something
I
that
want a
I've
sugar
never
baby on the
seen before
podcast.
until I moved here.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yes, it's a whole nother world.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm
Yes.
fascinated.
It's like a movie, and it really
Really?
is like the show Palm Royale. Like that
Yes.
is spot
Oh.
on. Like it could be a documentary.
When I saw that show, I was like, wow, they really immersed themselves in the Palm Beach life. Like it was to a T exactly how it is over
100%,
there.
and wasn't even filmed here, which is
I
bananas.
know.
But
It's
yeah.
the palm trees gave it away. It was filmed
Yeah.
in California.
Uh-huh.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
the California palm trees are different.
We don't have this palm tree.
No, do you know that took me like time to figure out? Like,
Oh, really?
I've lived here forever, and I'm like, oh wait, no, that's not us.
Yeah, very different.
It's nuts.
But that's the difference. I would say it's just like a totally different world over there.
Yeah.
But West Palm is definitely, it's growing into its own fabulous place to be.
It definitely is.
That's for sure.
So you touched on this before. I want to talk about your dating life. So are you actively
We need a
dating?
drink. I'm
Yes,
just
right?
kidding.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes. I love it. Ben, can you please the door? So are you actively dating?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
The dating, it's so funny because when I first moved down here, I thought I would meet the most incredible men. That has been very far
I'm so sorry. Yes.
from the experience that I've
Yes.
had. It's fine though. I've really enjoyed my single season. I would encourage every woman to have some sort of single season that lasts for months. Like not a month where you're not dating. I have been single for the last year. I've been on 2 dates, which was nice to just get out, meet someone, but I mean, I've been alone all year and it's
Yeah.
been amazing. Like I have learned so much more about myself than I ever could have with someone else in my life. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's really important to learn the ins and outs of yourself because, growing up in the South, it was very common to graduate college, get married immediately, have a kid immediately. And I always thought that that would be my path. And I'm very grateful that it wasn't, just because I was such a different person than I am now.
Yes.
And this single season has really allowed me to come into my own and understand what I do want and what I will not like waver from and what I will never settle for less than I deserve and less than I desire.
Yes.
And I'm okay with waiting for that. I mean, of course I get antsy and I'm like, I would love to go on dates at least. Like it would be nice
Would
to,
you though? Like dating seems like so hard. Like
well, I would love to if it were a guy that, wasn't like a South Florida douchebag.
yes. Okay. So explain the archetype of the South Florida douchebag. Like who are we coming across in the mean streets?
Oh
of
my
West Palm?
gosh, you guys. They're like mama's boys. They're like
Yeah.
man children.
Yeah.
Peter Pan men. Like they
Yes.
just never want to grow up. They think that taking you to get like a table on a Saturday night is their way of courting you and showing you that they're interested. It's a lot of the men down here think that they're the dollar sign in their pocket or their bank account is what defines their worth.
Yes.
And that's what I really saw quite quickly, honestly. A lot of the men just think that every woman wants a man with money and that's what they lead with. And that is not the case.
Yeah. Being that you're this amazing independent woman who is self-sufficient, what do you think about tradition? Oh, it's so true.
You.
What do you think about traditional dating things like men paying for meals and that type of thing? Do you think that's something that should stick?
Absolutely.
I agree.
If a man tried to make me go halfsies on a date, I would walk out immediately.
Yes.
Sue me. I'm sorry. But like, and if that's the kind of, the thing is that everyone is entitled to their own opinion. They're entitled to want what they want. I, as Gracie, want a man who will take care of me in that sense because I think that's important to have a partner that can lead, not only in our relationship, but potentially down the line as a father and as a leader of the household. That is what I believe in.
Yeah,
Sue me for that. Like, not
I
everyone has to
agree.
agree with that, but again, I'll be damned if I have to pay for our meal.
Yes, I
Oh
could
my
not agree with you
gosh.
more. Or even if they like let you pretend. Like I'm like, no, 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 no. If we
Please.
get to the point where like you see me digging in my purse, like that is unacceptable.
And I feel that that is because I'm a very dominant person. Like, I
Hmm.
am strong in who I am. I have a lot of personality, and I want to meet a man that allows me to fall into my feminine side because I've been single for so long that I have no choice but to take care of myself. But is this what I want for me? No. Of course I want someone that can take care of me and our family and our, lead us as like a family of me and my children one day, but I just think that that's something that I'll never waver from. I want that traditional aspect of
Yes,
a relationship.
I agree with you. And I think the fact that you can take care of yourself does not necessarily mean that like you have to take care of
Ab-
yourself. Like a partnership is lovely.
That's the
But
common
to your point,
misconception.
I love that you are like, I'm going to wait and I'm never going to settle.
No.
Like, that is above all else. I feel like people are like, I'll go online, I'll find like whoever. And like,
Oh,
just
online
because
dating
two
is
people are
horrible.
single, oh my gosh, the nightmares. I mean, it gives good stories. So I love
But
it.
that's what's
But
so funny. Like, I'm on Raya and I'll match with people and there's never any messages. Like, hello, did you just want to connect to connect? That no hi, how are you
yes.
doing? And it's funny because I am so eager to travel and experience different parts of the country and the world. I would pick up and date someone in another state
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
But that's not the case for everyone. But I always joke with my friends. I'm like, guys, I'm about to just book a flight to Dallas, Texas, and just go on dates, see if I meet anyone. Then I'm going to go up to New York. Then I'm going to go out to
Why
California.
not?
I mean, why not? People act like you can't get on a flight and go to see people these days.
So true. It's
And I don't want to live
easy.
here during the summers anymore. So meeting someone long distance wouldn't be awful because it would be ideal to have a love for both of us can love South Florida, but we can also love another part of the country.
I agree. It's inhabitable here. Like it really is so and it gets worse.
I'm
It's
like a
getting worse.
hermit during the summer,
100%. I'm like,
which is
this is
the opposite of what it should be.
yes, of
During
course.
summer,
But
you
no,
should be
you're
out
like
and about.
no, you can't. You can't unless you want to like need an inhaler to the back. Like, it's insane.
That is so true. I always tell people it's like walking in a sauna willingly.
Yes, we're
Like,
swimming in a
ugh,
pool
it's
just
awful.
24/7. But like we're also like a tropical environment, but we're expected to dress like we
Yes.
live in a city.
Yes.
Like make it make sense.
Yeah.
I can't.
Can't do your hair the second you walk out. It's just flat as a pancake or
No.
frizzy. Like,
No.
I'm not my best self in the summer in West Palm.
No, I totally get it. So I'm all for finding a man elsewhere. Have you been to Austin, by the way? I have to say, like,
Briefly.
there's something about those cowboys.
I know, I'm into it.
Like,
I like a cowboy hat.
Yes.
I also love a man that can pull off like a nice pair of jeans with a belt buckle and a nice jacket and some boots. I'm like,
oh, I'm telling you, we went for a girls' trip and they were asking us to dance. And it was like, you ask? Like, and we're all like married.
how polite.
Also, by the way, the second we start dancing, we're like, the first words out of our mouths, like, we're moms, we're old. Like, we're like, don't think. And they're like, we're just dancing.
Yeah.
Like, being like so lovely and like chivalrous. And like, that's just something you really don't find in South Florida.
And that's a great point that I've had to I'll never forget someone when I first moved down here told me, do not let South Florida jade you. And I was like, never. I'm a Southern girl. I have great morals and values, but it quickly can jade you because a lot of people down here are on a mission or they have some sort of ulterior motive that inevitably leads you to think that every person that you meet is leading with this ulterior motive or this mission that you might not know about. And I do find myself craving more of like that Southern gentleman as I've stepped away from that. I'm like, there's just something about a Southern man that they have this different level of like chivalry's not dead with them. Let's just say
Yes.
that. The amount of men that will walk out of an elevator before I do, I'm like,
It's a problem.
what is going on?
Yes. I'm raising little boys and I'm trying so hard to be like, no, hold the door for mommy. Like,
Oh,
mommy's your queen. And they're like, mom, but like,
but
I'm
you are.
trying.
No
I'm
eye
like,
rolls over here.
yes, so true. So true. Oh, I love it. What else are you working on? Because you did hint at that in one of your
Yeah.
reels that like it's not just content creation, there's other things on the horizon.
It's really funny because the first day that I was working for myself, after my 2 weeks were put in with my job, I kind of had this mini freak out. I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. I'm here. What do I do? What do I do? Like, what am I doing now? And all of a sudden, I just had this idea come to my brain about this certain travel thing that I want to start working on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to put too many details out there yet
Yep.
because I'd rather get the trademark approved and everything before
Yes, of
spilling
course.
the beans.
Of
Because
course.
that's another thing about South Florida. People that have a lot more funds and
Yes.
a lot more connections can take these ideas and run with it. So I try to keep this very close to the heart, which is another thing my mom taught me. Thank you, Mom. But my brother and my mom are always the people that I run to with business ideas. I'm like, oh, what about this? This could really be something. And they're like, yeah, that sounds great. But this one, they were like, oh, you're onto something. You're really onto something with this. And my brother's been so supportive. My mom has been so supportive. But it's just now of like, okay, now how do we put this together and make it work? So it involves travel. That's all I'll say for now, which is perfect because that's where I got my footing in Palm Beach travel.
Yes.
And I'm starting to do more partnerships with hotels, not just in Florida, but in other parts of the country, which is exciting. And it'll kind of start to hopefully allow me to branch out into a travel vlogger and do some more deals that way, which inevitably will help with this endeavor that I'm trying to pursue, but we'll see. But it's exciting because I was like, oh my gosh, I love content, but I also would love to have something that when I do get married and have children, I can still work on and have, an income coming in, but I can eventually sell and create some sort of really nice generational wealth for my children and, my family.
I am manifesting this for you. I think
Girl, me too.
You are someone that just goes after where you want. It's so smart. I think you are inspirational and incredible.
So
and
sweet.
It's true though. I cannot wait to see more unfold on your Instagram and everywhere else.
Thanks.
Where can people find you and follow you? Because I love your stuff. I really do.
Thank you. You can find me on TikTok or Instagram, and it's just my name, Gracie Abercrombie. There's no M in Abercrombie. Some people think it's Abercrombie, and I'm like, it's
Really?
Abercrombie, like the store, but not related. And I post every day, multiple times a day. So
Amazing. Well,
it's
thank
fun.
you so much. I had
Thank
so
you
much
for
fun with
having me.
you.
This was so fun. I
Yes.
hope to come back, and I can't wait to hear
100%.
about all of the other stories that you bring onto the podcast. You have something very special.
Oh, you're very sweet.
Thanks for letting me come on.
Thank you. I love a love fest. Thank you so much. And thank you all for listening. I'll see you in the next one. That was so good.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Shut Up, Tell Me More. You can find us on Instagram at Shut Up, Tell Me More. Remember to subscribe to the podcast. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, go to the show page and click the follow plus sign. If you listen on Spotify, click the follow button. You can also find us on YouTube. You'll automatically receive new episodes as they come out, as well as updates. Doing this also helps me algorithm land, so thanks in advance. Lastly, give me a 5-star review, and I'll be so grateful. See you in the next one.